Okay, guys, we are working on practice sheet 26. This says, solve and graph the inequality. So here's our inequality, okay? Notice x is on the correct side, and there's not a negative, so I will not flip the symbol. What I do want to bring to your attention is when I do this, it's going to be same, sum, add to the left. So remember that sign, okay? I also need you to remember when you have negatives, as you have negatives, it gets more negative to the left, okay? Remember that. That will go with number 2. Number 3, the original price for a pair of shoes at Kick's store is $130. Guys, we've been doing these kinds of problems for weeks now. The original price, remember, that's the of. Original is TWO, total, whole, original. The shoes are on sale for $91 this week. Find the percent discount. This is a percent problem. I do not have a percent, so I cannot change the percent to a decimal and multiply. So I use my backup method, which is over of equals percent over 100. I already know what number I can put right here. I can erase this and put 130. Then for my is, I have to find the change in the price. This is what it was. This is what it is now. I subtract that. That tells me the is. You can erase this and put that number there. I don't know the percent. I put an X. You are going to see this on STAR, a problem just like this. You need to cross multiply that. Number 4, the area of a semicircle. We have done this and done this and done this. I'm only repeating this for newer students right now. Area, I go to my formula chart. Area, circle, A equals pi r squared. You need to remember, when I put pi r squared, that's going to give me the whole circle. Okay? You also need to remember, going all the way across is the diameter. Okay? In order for you to plug this into this equation, you need the radius, which only goes to the middle. So you need to find the radius. Okay? Your final step is to divide by 2. And I'm putting that up here because a lot of times we start working through, we do all this math, and then we don't get the actual answer, which is for the semicircle, not a full circle, a half of a circle. So you have to divide the total circle by 2. Okay. On number 5, some of us struggled with this. Write the equation of the line that passes through the given points. Okay, so the equation of a line, remember we have 2. Y equals kx, y equals mx plus b. So we know m is delta y over delta x. Okay, delta y over delta x. So it's reverse of how we see it, correct? So I can tell, I'm only getting you started because this is a little different. Each number is getting smaller. Each one is getting smaller, okay? This number goes on top. That is delta y. How do I know? It says y right here. And this is the change in y. Delta y is change in y. Now you find delta x. Now, that only gives me the constant rate of change. I need to figure out which equation it is. So I remember that this is proportional. If it's proportional, I'm going to use this one. How do I know if it's proportional? Take the table back to 0. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now I can tell these numbers going to the left are getting bigger. This number is not going to be a 0. So that is not the equation. It's going to be this one. I already have the m. Well, I'm sorry, I have half of the m. Okay. So your job is to plug in whatever you get for the M, take this table back. Remember, B is the number that tells you it is not proportional, whatever number you get there. Number 6, Bernie buys 4 pairs of sunglasses that are on sale for a total of $32. Find the constant of proportionality that relates the amount of money spent, Y, to the number of sunglasses bought, X. I don't understand why we were struggling so much with this. The question is asking for the constant of proportionality. I don't have to remember it. I can look right here on my formula. Constant of proportionality, K equals Y over X. Nothing fancy. That's exactly what it means. K equals Y over X. That means I need a Y and an X. Well, if you look here, it literally specifies what it is. That relates the amount of money spent, Y. The amount of money spent is Y. That's what it is. Y is 32. You would put that right here in this equation. To the number of sunglasses, X. Well, how many sunglasses? There were 4. So X is 4. So you would be putting 32 over 4 and you divide it. That's K. That is all that's to it. And hopefully we know, this is just part of our test, you needed an equation, Y equals KX. I just calculated K here. Hopefully you divided it. I would put Y equals whatever K is X, and then I have the equation. That was the second part of that question on the test. Number 7. A doctor has an annual income of $152,125. The income tax the doctor has to pay is 6%. Here's the total. This is the gross. We want the income tax, which is 6%. What is the income tax? I want the income tax. I'm not doing anything special, guys. All it wants is the income tax. 6% is the income tax. So you know, we change the percent to a decimal and we multiply. That is how we take 6% of a number. You're going to multiply this by this and then move that decimal in. Number 8. Penny took out a car loan for $6,000 that charged 7% simple interest. There's my keyword right there, guys. She paid the loan off in full at the end of 3 years. How much will she owe in all when she pays off the loan? Okay? So, simple interest. Simple interest. That is on my formula chart. This is your friend. Your formula chart is your friend. Simple interest. I party. So all we have to do, again, we have to change the percent to a decimal and multiply. That's how we get the interest. P, R, T. That's how it should go in these parentheses. Principal first. Rate second as a decimal. Time is 3 years. That goes here. You multiply those 3 numbers and that tells you I. Then it says in all means you add. So I'm adding. I have to pay the price of the car, or Penny has to pay the price of the car plus the interest. That will give you the total. The in all. Okay. Number 9. Sheldon went to buy hamburger meat for a cookout. He bought 3.4 pounds of meat. The meat cost $3.75 per pound. If Sheldon pays with a $20 bill, how much change? I got to remember that. I don't want to forget that. And then we don't have to worry about tax on this. So, if Sheldon is buying hamburger meat, so here we have a pound of meat. That meat costs $3.75 for 1 pound. It's way more than that right now. Okay, but I didn't buy one. I bought another one. I bought another one. And then I bought a partial one. Okay, that one I don't know the price. But notice I'm doing repeated addition. Repeated addition, guys, is the same thing as multiplication. So you are going to multiply that. When you multiply, notice I am not lining up the decimals because at the end we count over the spaces. 1, 2, 3, and we will go 1, 2, 3 in. When you're done, though, you need the change from $20. When you find change, you're handing them your money. You're figuring out what you get back. That is your job. Okay, on number 10, I am not going to do this for you. There's a picture of it on the word wall. You can use the colored paper that has the angle relationships, but I will remind you this is straight. That will give you a hint right there, and that will also give you a hint for what the number is. Okay? You figure that one out. You are going to write the name down and you solve for x. Set up that equation and solve for x.